My name's Jacqueline, and I completed my placement at the London Family Court Clinic. What started out in 1974 as an organization with 2 staff members offering a single service has grown over the past 45 years into an organization that offers 13 different service areas and also serves multiple coordination roles in the community. The LFCC is a non-profit registered charity that is partially funded by the Ontario government, and they are driven by a vision: caring communities, resilient children and families beyond the justice system. Caring communities are ones that are inclusive, safe, engaged, and want the best for each of their members. The broad solution of the LFCC is to develop caring communities that work together to support and inspire one another along the journey of life. Another focus of the LFCC is to help children and families to be resilient in overcoming challenges and gain strength to move forward towards a brighter future. The LFCC works to help children and families who are either connected or at risk of being connected to the justice system. Their services and resources help children and families through their experiences with the justice system to realize a better outcome once beyond that system. The LFCC has many services that contribute to fulfilling their vision, and this includes services for both adolescents as well as their families. An example of an adolescent service is the Child Witness Project. This project provides education, stress reduction and coping strategies, support, and advocacy for youth who are called to testify as victims in criminal court. As well as several staff members who facilitate the Child Witness Project, there is also a service dog named Meryl who is professionally trained. Meryl can help decrease symptoms of stress in youth to help them better communicate and respond to the court process. Another example of an adolescent service at the LFCC is the multidisciplinary clinical supports. This team provides intensive one-on-one mental health services for youth as well as their families. This service follows youth who move through the system, including residential care and youth justice custody settings. Family services provided by the LFCC include custody and access assessments of families following divorce or separation, family mediation, parenting capacity assessments, and more. Besides services for youth and their families, the LFCC also provides training for members of different agencies in the community. My supervisor, Heather, is the training coordinator at the LFCC, and she facilitates these sessions around the community. Over the course of my placement, I worked on collaborative projects to create new resources and further develop the training modules for the LFCC. I also had the opportunity to attend and engage in several training sessions facilitated by Heather, and this included topics such as trauma-informed care, suicide prevention, intervention, and postvention, and suicide risk assessment. I also had the opportunity to go to Brampton and meet with some of the staff members at the Roy McMurtry Youth Centre, which is the largest juvenile detention centre in Ontario. There I learned about the unique risks that youth in custody face in terms of mental health and the barriers that staff face when it comes to supporting these youth. We were able to incorporate this information into the training module at the LFCC to educate our own community on how to best support youth in custody through the system and address the barriers to care. Over the course of my placement at the LFCC, I learned so much about working with youth who are involved with the justice system. I learned about the connection between adverse childhood experiences and physical and mental health, about the relationship between attachment and psychopathology, and about the link between trauma and addiction. I learned that suicide risk for youth in custody can look very different. It is dynamic with a lot of nuance that does not necessarily exist for youth who are living in the community. Risk and crisis can occur at seemingly random times for youth in custody, so assessment is a continuous process. Most importantly, during my placement at the LFCC, I learned how to take a trauma-informed perspective of care. It never hurts to assume that someone has experienced trauma unless you are told otherwise. A trauma-informed approach involves a shift from asking what's wrong with you to what happened to you. It's a shift away from punishment and a shift towards supporting change through compassion and hope. The training sessions, collaborative projects, and Heather's guidance at the LFCC made my learning experience invaluable. I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to learn so much that I can take with me into the work world in the future.